We are live. Well, if you don't see them,
well, then I'll go out and back.
And back in. That's all you can really do. Right. This mic is totally out of position.
Okay, let's see.
Needs to point at my cheek.
Like so. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
And this one goes there. Okay. Ziggy's here.
Hello,
Hi,
Ziggy.
Hi, George and Lynn. Greetings again from Germany. Hi, Ziggy. Welcome.
Hello, Ziggy. Good to see you.
Ah, yes.
I hope spring is starting to come to your part of the world.
It is here, although we had a blast from winter last weekend. It was quite something, but now we've got the warm weather coming back. Beautiful sound, George. Should you give me your clock?
Oh, I believe I should.
Ziggy says, nice partner T-shirts and a wonderful sounding new auto harp.
Yes, indeed.
Smiling face.
Yeah, I finally got. I'm not as good with it as I'd like to be yet, but
Is it off?
am getting there. Yeah, that's what was wrong. Those mics have to be closer together like that.
Well, that's what
That's
happened.
what happened.
Oops. Okay.
I knew something happened to it.
Uh-oh, sorry.
Oh,
There it is.
103.
Sorry.
Well, we're just a little bit late,
Okay.
but we will get started here, and hopefully other people will join us shortly.
Indeed.
This show is...
Whoops.
Yeah, indeed. Let's see here. That's wanting to fall out of there.
There you go. Has that got it?
Now we're on. There's always something with us. We don't claim to be professionals, folks. We're just good old country boys trying
I
to
think that's the way it needs to be.
play a little
You had
music.
it tipped up a little too high. That's more like
Yeah,
it.
that's more like it. Hello, Lulu.
She's come
Old
around
guide
to see
dog
us.
Lulu,
Yeah.
who wishes we would go outside and play.
Oh, yes. As the weather has really actually warmed up quite a bit. Ah, Pam Kennedy. Hello,
Hey, Pam.
George and Lynn.
How are
You
ya?
play some great music, she said.
No, this is a new auto harp
Yes.
that I just got. This is what's called a luthier harp. It was not mass produced. It was built in a shop by a guy that has become a pretty good friend of mine. His name's Pete Daigle and his lovely wife Polly and their dog Harpo. I met him out in California, and I started playing the demo of this harp, and I bought one. So it's a little bit different. I'm not as good with it as I am with my old one, but when I get that good, it's going to be outstanding. So I'm glad you came, Pam. I really am, and
Yes.
hope you enjoy the show. Today, our show is called By the Numbers, and we're going to do a whole bunch of songs that have a number in their title. And there's all sorts of stuff here. And so let us get right to it. Here's a song that was written and recorded by Weird Al Yankovic, and it's called One More Minute. I heard that you're leaving me far behind. 'Cause you found a brand new lover. You decided that I'm not your kind. So I pulled your name out of my Rolodex and tore all your pictures in two. And I burned down the malt shop where we used to go, just because it reminds me of you. That's right, you ain't gonna see me crying. I'm glad you found somebody new, 'cause I'd rather spend eternity eating shards of broken glass than spend one more minute with you. I guess I might seem kind of bitter. You got me feeling down in the dumps, 'cause I'm stranded all alone in the gas station of love. And I have to use the self-service pumps. So, honey, let me help you with that suitcase. You ain't gonna break my heart in two, 'cause I'd rather get 100,000 paper cuts on my face than spend one more minute with you. I'd rather rip out my intestines with a fork than watch you going out with other men. Oh, I'd rather slam my fingers in a door again and again and again and again and again. Oh, what I'm trying to say here, darling, I'd rather have my blood sucked out by leeches, shove an ice pick under a toenail or two. I'd rather clean all the bathrooms in Grand Central Station with my tongue than spend one more minute with you. Yes, I'd rather jump naked on a huge pile of thumbtacks, or stick my nostrils together with crazy glue. I'd rather dive into a swimming pool full of double-edged razor blades than spend one more minute with you. I'd rather rip my heart right out of my ribcage. I'd rather rip my heart out of my ribcage with my bare hands and throw it on the floor and stomp on it till I die, then spend one more minute with you. Guy's got some serious issues, don't you think?
Oh, Ziggy said, and spring is here, at least during the day. The nights are still cold. And Rick Candy said, hi there, George.
Hi, Rick. It's been a while. Great to see you. How are you?
He said, I too have a Pete Daigle auto harp, the Laura Lee model. Absolutely love it. And Pam said, I can't hardly listen to the song for laughing so hard. That's great, George.
Glad you liked it.
Oh, my.
Do you have a tenor or a bass Lorelei? I wonder. That's an auto harp that, as I understand it, has only 31 strings. And
that's the Laura, yeah.
Yeah,
Laura
that's
Lee.
the Lorelei. All right, let's see what else we can get
Fewer to
into.
tune, however.
Well, that's
Makes fewer to tune.
there's always advantages to everything, you know. Hi, Lulu.
He said bass.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the one I'd
bass.
pick. If I was
Yes.
going to play the Lorelei, that would be the one I would choose.
I'm thinking your microphone comes forward just a little bit, like that, and then turns that way.
I like it.
That's more
I like it.
like what I think it's supposed to do.
Okay, here is a song that was written by Hetty West in 1961. It was recorded by the New Christie Minstrels. It's a folk song, one of those commercial folk songs. It's called 500 Miles. If you miss the train I'm on, you will know that I am gone. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. Lord, I'm one. Lord, I'm two. Lord, I'm three. Lord, I'm four. Lord, I'm 500 miles away from home. Away from home, away from home, away from home, away from home. Lord, I'm 500 miles away from home. Not a shirt on my back, not a penny to my name. Lord, I can't go home this away, this away, this away, this away, this away. Lord, I can't go back home this away. If you miss the train I'm on, then you'll know that I am gone. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles, 100 miles.
That's one of my favorites.
I like that song.
Yeah.
I like the riff at the beginning.
Yeah.
I always wanted to learn to play that. Back when I was a kid, I wanted a guitar, and I couldn't get one. All right. Let's see. Here's a song by Ray Stevens. I don't know who wrote it, but Ray recorded it, and it's called Three Fractured Factions. Well, welcome to American politics, with its backroom deals and its dirty tricks, all kind of groups and all kinds of factions, but it all boils down to these three fractions. There's a third on the right and a third on the left and a third in the middle that's scared half to death that they'll either get nuked or taxed after death by the third on the right and the third on the left, and there's a third on the left and a third on the right and a third in the middle that can't sleep nights cause of corporate greed and government theft by the third on the right and the third on the left. A third on the right and a third on the left and a third in the middle that's scared half to death. Now unbridled greed with no regulation leads to overspending your capitalization, and without any rules against misbehaving, you'll find that Bernie's made off with your savings. And don't let the left-wing bureaucrats loose. They'll bust every next egg and kill every goose and tax every dollar that you manage to save and control what you do from the cradle to the grave. There's a third on the right and a third on the left and a third in the middle that's scared half to death that they'll either get nuked or taxed after death by the third on the right and the third on the left, and there's a third on the left and a third on the right and a third in the middle that can't sleep nights cause of corporate greed and government theft by the third on the right and the third on the left. A third on the right and a third on the left and a third in the middle that's scared half to death. Now I'm a red, white, and blue conservative cat. I'm suspicious of Republicans and Democrats. I get nervous when Washington makes a decision, but that's why I find comfort in this division. There's a third on the right and a third on the left and a third in the middle that's scared half to death that they'll either get nuked or taxed after death by the third on the right and the third on the left, and there's a third on the left and a third on the right and a third in the middle that can't sleep nights cause of corporate greed and government theft by the third on the right and the third on the left. Third on the right and a third on the left and a third in the middle that's scared half to death. There's a third on the right and a third on the left and a third in the middle that's scared half to death that they'll either get nuked or taxed after death by the third on the right and the third on the left, and there's a third on the left and a third on the right and a third in the middle that can't sleep nights cause of corporate greed and government theft by the third on the right and the third on the left. A third on the right and a third on the left and a third in the middle that's scared half to death. Any comments?
Nope.
You might want to go out and come back in and make sure that
Yeah, I'm wondering too.
yeah, you probably should. That seems to happen. We're gonna install the Facebook app on my phone and see if it works better the next time, because this is twice in a row where we've had a few comments at the beginning and then nothing. And I just wonder if it's on our
We're
end.
going to take a look and see. Nothing new has come up.
All right.
So, I think we're good.
We might finish early today.
Well, don't know.
Okay, I'm going to ask Lynn to join me on this one. This is one we do a lot together. It's an Ian and Sylvia tune. Ian Tyson wrote it, and it's called Four Strong Winds.
strong winds that grow lonely, 7 seas that run high, all those things that don't change, come what may. But our good times are all gone, and I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way.
Think I'll go out to Alberta, weather's good there in the fall. Got some friends that I can go to working for. Still, I wish you'd change your mind. If I asked you one more time, but we've been through that 100 times or more.
4 strong winds that blow lonely, 7 seas that run high, all those things that don't change, come what may. But our good times are all gone, and I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way.
If I get there for the snow flies, and if things are looking good, you could meet me if I sent you down the fair. But by then it would be winter, not too much for you to do, and the wind sure blows cold way out there.
4 strong winds that blow lonely, 7 seas that run high, all those things that don't change, come what may. But our good times are all gone, and I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way.
I hope we're going out.
We are. Ivan is here.
Oh, hello, Ivan.
Ivan says, hi, Lynn and George. Just got back from rehearsing with Bill for tomorrow's concert.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. That's going to be great. Yeah, Ivan's going to have a guest tomorrow on his show at 1 o'clock. I'm sorry, 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Central, and 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific. If you like old-style folk music, look up Ivan Styles, S-T-I-L-E-S, on Facebook tomorrow for a real good time. He and his wife Nancy and their guests always have a great time, and Ivan's been doing this for almost as long as I have. He's well over 100 concerts now, so check him out.
Wow. And Ziggy says, I don't see any new comments here as well. And then, apart from Ivan's just now, and then he said, I am totally captivated by your and Lynn's performance. So are probably all the other listeners.
Well, thank you, Ziggy.
Thank you. And Ivan put a big thumbs up.
Right. Yeah, we are, we're doing the show with the Tahoma.
Nan's here. Nancy
Hello, Nan.
Beatty. Hi, Lynn and George.
Welcome.
Good to see you. And
Good to see you.
Welcome, Nan. And Jerry, hang on. Jerry Burgess is here.
Hey,
awesome
Jerry.
job, guys. Glad I made it for the show. Sounds
Oh,
great.
me too.
As always,
good
my
to
friend.
see you as always.
Oh, good to have you. Yes.
Yeah. Stop by and see us one of these days.
Yeah. We're still here. The house is different.
Yeah, the house is different, but the land's the same.
It's still us.
We're still in the same place over
Right,
on Monarch
same place.
Drive. Check us out. Come on over and we'll hoist a few and play some music or
Absolutely.
something.
We'd love that. And Ivan says 105th concert tomorrow. Thanks for the plug.
Hey, no problem.
Oh, man.
Glad to do it. Yep, 105 without a miss.
Yeah.
Without a miss.
Well, that too.
That streak is destined to end here shortly because we're all going to be at MLAG on one of these Sundays here real soon. So here's a song that I believe I know it was recorded by Johnny Cash, and I think he wrote it too. It's called 5 Feet High and Rising. By the way, for those of you who are just joining us, the idea here today is that all the songs have a number in their title.
Jerry says, sounds like a date.
Yeah, let's do it. If I can get over my hiccups, I'll sing this song real quick.
Oh, no.
Okay. How high's the water, mama? 2 feet high and rising. How high's the water, papa? She said it's 2 feet high and rising. Well, the hives are gone, I've lost my bees. Chickens are sleeping in the willow trees. Cows in the water up past their knees. 2 feet high and rising. How high's the water, mama? 3 feet high and rising. How high's the water, papa? She said it's 3 feet high and rising. We can make it to the road in a homemade boat, 'cause that's the only thing we got left that'll float. It's already over all the wheat and oats. 3 feet high and rising. How high's the water, mama? 4 feet high and rising. How high's the water, papa? She said it's 4 feet high and rising. Hey, come look through the window pane. The bus is coming, gonna take us to the train. Looks like we're gonna be blessed with a little more rain. 4 feet high and rising. How high's the water, mama? 5 feet high and rising. How high's the water, papa? She said it's 5 feet high and rising. Well, the rails are washed out north of town. We gotta head for higher ground. We can't come back till the water goes down. 5 feet high and rising. Well, it's 5 feet high and rising.
Oh, my. Pam said, hey, George, I finally added Nancy, and she is listening to you now.
Oh, thank you.
And Ivan said, definitely written by Johnny Cash. And now I had another thing happen that I don't think I've seen before. There was a vibration on the phone, and then a message came across, and it was from Polly Daigle saying that Pete wants to know if you know ... which it didn't have enough room, and then it was gone, and I don't know how to get it back, so I don't know.
Polly, if you're listening, if you could leave a comment.
Yeah, that would work.
We're not very good at messages.
No, in my hands, yeah.
and in her hands, a phone is a she can reduce any phone to absolute
it's so sad.
Dysfunctionality.
If I try to do something new, it's usually I need a co-pilot.
James T. Kirk would have been proud. I have straightened out some of the most interesting problems. Where she thought she was doing something and she was doing something.
Or my
else.
hand hits a button. That's one too. That, you know.
But yeah,
there it goes.
if you'll leave a comment with the song, otherwise I'll have to wait till after the show and I'll have it for you the next show. But leave us a comment if you can, and if we know the song, we'll do it for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it didn't show it, so I couldn't know it. Hey, that rhymes. Unintentional poetry.
Here's a song that I don't know who wrote it. A million artists have done it. It might even be traditional. I don't know. This is Doc.
Oh, it's not you. Facebook is messing with me. Pete wants to know if you know Old Number 9.
I don't.
I'll write that down.
But we will have it for you next show. no matter what the topic is or whatever. And the next show will be on April 2nd. Don't know what the topic's going to be yet, but if you'll tune in on the 2nd, early in the program if you can, because I like to do the requests at the top, we'll have it for you.
Yes, and Facebook messes with her too. It just has no sense of who's important and who isn't.
Right.
Just no.
Okay. And this is the first whole show with the Tahoma. I finally got it to where it stays in tune, and I'm learning where all the getting some muscle memory for the buttons, because they're spaced just a little bit differently, and I don't look at them obviously. So we're getting there, and I just love it. You all right?
Got a Charlie horse in my shoulder and arm.
Oh no!
It hurts. That's why I couldn't talk.
All right.
In pain. It's going away now.
While Lynn gets over that,
Ooh, I get these every once in a while.
We'll sing a song. Maybe that'll help.
Well, it's the shopping cart at Walmart. I knew it was going to get me.
Yeah. We went on
that
our monthly shop-a-thon the
Yeah,
other
but
day.
the cart, man, it had very resistant to moving.
Well, that's
I
'cause
should
we
have just
loaded it
gotten
up with a couple hundred pounds of stuff.
That's beside the point.
All right. Back to...
I'm sorry. It's easing up now, but I've had trouble with that.
This is called, people have called it the Great Historical Bum. This one's called I Was Born 6,000 Years Ago. This is Doc Watson's version. I was born about 6,000 years ago. There ain't nothing in this world that I don't know. I saw old King Pharaoh's daughter find little Moses on the water, and I can whip the man that says it isn't so. I saw Noah when he built that famous ark. I slipped into it one night when it got dark. I saw Jonah swallowed by the whale, and I pulled the lion's tail, and I can whip the man that says it isn't so. I'm an educated man, to get more sense within my head I plan. I've been on earth so long, and I used to sing a little song while all of them old timers took their stand. Queen Elizabeth fell dead in love with me. She did. We was married in Milwaukee secretly. Then I took her out and shook her, and I went with General Hooker to fight mosquitoes down in Tennessee. I taught Solomon his little ABCs, smart fella, and through all his books I tutored him with ease. Then I sailed out on the bay with Methuselah one day, and I played with his flowing whiskers in the breeze. I'm an educated man, to get more sense within my head I plan. I've been on earth so long, and I used to sing a little song while all of them old timers took their stand. I seen old Satan when he searched that garden door. Old booger saw Adam and Eve driven from the door. When the apples they were eating from the bushes I was peeping. I can prove it 'cause I'm the man what at the core. I saw Cain when he killed Abel with a spade, and I know the game was poker that they played. I was hid behind a shrub when he slapped him with that club. Poor old Abel caught him a-cheatin', and now he's dead. I'm an educated man, to get more sense within my head I plan. I've been on her so long, and I used to sing a little song while all of them old timers took their stand.
Wow. Got a couple here. Polly said, "The harp is sounding great. I love it when you two sing harmonies." And Pat Byrne is here.
Hello, Pat. Top of the evening to you, sir, from
Yeah.
Ireland.
He said, "Hi, George and your wife. Ireland rugby is on against Scotland. Ireland is winning."
Okay.
And Ivan said, "This is a traditional song first recorded by Fiddlin' John Carson in 1924.
Well, thanks, Ivan.
And Nan said, "Nice," which I like that song a lot.
Thanks, Ivan. I appreciate the
Yes.
research there.
Yeah.
Fiddlin' John Carson. Okay. If you'd make a note of that, 6,000 years ago by Fiddlin' John
Okay.
Carson, I would appreciate it, because then I'll put it in my... I have a database for all this stuff, being a computer geek. And I like to keep it as accurate as possible. Okay. Wow. Yeah, Polly Pete, the harp is starting to settle down, and it actually stays in tune for more than a few minutes now. And I am learning how to use the fine tuners, because I never had them before. And I am, so I tended to, I think, overuse the wrench a little bit, but I'm trying to keep them even, and I'm counting threads. Most of them are at about 4 threads. The C5, the third C, is up a little higher than that, but it's just the last day or two started to actually stay in tune, and of course, the more I play it, the better it sounds. I'm beginning now to hear what I heard when I played the prototype in California. So I'm very pleased, and we're gonna talk more about the harp and your offer and everything in just a few minutes here.
I have a couple more here.
Oh, good.
Pat said, "Love the new auto harp," and he said, "Thanks," and I think that was in reference to what you said before to him. And then he said, "Ireland is winning," and then he said 21-5, and now he says they have won.
Wow. Okay.
That was a fast game, I want to tell you.
No.
I know, I'm
Rugby
teasing.
Rugby is played with a ball a lot like our American football.
Yeah.
And it's actually a very, very interesting game. And what I like about it is they don't stop the clock and go think about it for a while. They actually play all the time. Rugby's a great game. I like it much better
rough.
than American football. I don't follow sports a lot
never
anymore,
watched it.
but and I don't understand all the intricacies. Do you remember Nate over at WRSA?
Yes,
He played
young
rugby.
fella. He did?
He played rugby. Yeah, he sure did.
Ivan said, "My Daigle will stay in tune for a week or so."
Well, this one will too, I think, Ivan, once it all gets used to the fact that it's an auto harp now. You know, it's just a matter of new wood, new strings, and everything. I am confident that it will settle down. The buttons are just a little bit farther apart than they are on an Oscar Schmidt, and I've never played anything else. So I tend to reach for a key, and I think I've got the key I want, and it's the key just to the left of it. But I am not playing the Oscar Schmidt at all. I figured the best way to learn this thing is to just, jump in the deep end, and so it'll...
Well, and you've been playing it a lot, so...
I have, and it's getting better. All right.
I have some from Pat.
Oh,
He's saying 26-5 now. Ireland is 26, and yes. So that they're winning.
Yeah. Yeah. By a goodly margin. I don't know how much time's left, but
He said it's a great game.
the Scots are going to have to get on it if they want to catch up. That's a pretty hefty lead there.
I think that's why he said they have won. But I thought when he said that the game was over. But
I did
don't
too.
think so. I
Okay.
think it's still going on, but they don't really have a chance to come back now.
Well, it'd be tough. Anyway,
It is.
this song was written and recorded by Harry Chapin, and it's one of my favorite Harry Chapin songs. And it's called 30,000 Pounds of Bananas. Are you ready for this? It was just after dark when the truck started down the hill that leads into Scranton, Pennsylvania, carrying 30,000 pounds of bananas, carrying 30,000 pounds of bananas. He was a young driver, just out on his second job, and he was carrying the next day's pasty fruit for everyone in that coal-scarred city. Children played without despair in backyard slag piles, and folks managed to eat each day just about 30,000 pounds of bananas. 30,000 pounds of bananas. Well, he passed a sign that he should have seen, saying, "Shift to low gear, a $50 fine, my friend." He was thinking perhaps about the warm-breathed woman who's waiting at the journey's end. He started down the 2-mile drop, the curving road that wound from the top of the hill. He was pushing on through the shortening miles that ran down to the depot. Just a few more miles to go, then he'd go home and have her ease that long cramped day away, and the smell of 30,000 pounds of bananas. Yes, 30,000 pounds of bananas. He was picking up speed as the city spread its twinkling lights below him, but he paid no heed as shivering thoughts of the night's delights went through him. His foot nudged the brakes to slow him down, but the pedal floored easy without a sound. He said, "Christ!" It was funny how he'd named the only man who could save him now. He was trapped inside a dead-end hellslide, riding on his fear-hunchback was every one of those yellow queens. I'm telling you, 30,000 pounds of bananas. 30,000 pounds of bananas. He barely made the sweeping turn that led into the steepest grade. And he missed a thankful passing bus at 90 miles an hour. And he said, "God, make it a dream," as he rode his last ride down. And he said, "God, make it a dream," and as he rode his last ride down. And he sideswiped 19 neat parked cars, clipped off 13 telephone poles, hit 2 houses, bruised 8 trees, and blew across 7 people. It was then that he lost his head, not to mention an arm or two, before he stopped. He stopped. and he smeared for 400 yards along the hill that leads into Scranton, Pennsylvania. All those 30,000 pounds of bananas. All those 30,000 pounds of bananas. Yes, we have no bananas. We have no bananas today. And if that wasn't enough, yes, we have no bananas. Bananas in Scranton, PA. A woman walks into her room where her child lies sleeping, and when she sees his eyes are closed, she sits there silently weeping. And though she lives in Scranton, Pennsylvania, she never ever eats, you guessed it, bananas. Not one of 30,000 pounds of bananas. You know the man who told me about it on the bus as it went up the hill out of Scranton, Pennsylvania. He shrugged his shoulders, shook his head, and then he said, and this is exactly what he said. He said, sure must have been something. Just imagine 30,000 pounds of bananas. Yes, there were 30,000 pounds of mashed bananas. Oh, bananas, just bananas, 30,000 pounds of bananas, not no driver now, just bananas.
Wow. Poor guy.
Well,
Oh. I have one from Ivan who said, one has to wait for string memory, in quotes.
yes, exactly, and it just
to
takes
kick
time.
in. And he just sent up a ha-ha face over that song. So
Thank
he
you.
liked it. And
Yeah, it's coming. I get flashes of it. And then I try the same thing 2 minutes later and it falls absolutely flat. But I don't care. I love this thing and I'm going to play it.
Yes.
When I go to MLAG, I'm going to enter the contest because I want to just immerse myself in the whole experience. And if the luck of the draw is with me, I will own the first Tahoma to be entered in the, to play in the contest.
that would be great.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Pat said he's talking about the game again.
Game,
I
yeah.
think. Yeah, it's like, yes, Ireland win 26-5. And let's see. Oh, it's over and now and great stuff, Ireland, and what a win. And
That's
love
right.
the T-shirts again, and big thumbs up from him about the T-shirts. So,
Thank you, Pat.
but we love these shirts.
And,
We
I will
Lisa.
drink to the Irish victory.
Indeed. These are very cool shirts. They say the reason or the secret of her smile.
And they have
playing
a picture of Mona Lisa
So
on
playing the
front,
auto
playing
harp.
the auto harp.
Yes. Not lap style.
Well,
But then most folks don't.
we got to work on that.
Yes, more people play lap style.
Well, I saw a comment or a Facebook post from somebody who bought a left-handed Laura Lee, a tenor, I think, and said she practiced with it 5 times and couldn't get used to it. Well, I got a hot flash for her. I practiced 5 times with this one, and I thought, oh, what have I done? But I kept working
going.
on it.
Yeah.
And after a while, I'm saying, oh, I'm glad I did it, you know?
Well, it's hard to get your brain to go the other way because you're not left-handed, but you also have now, you aren't crossing your hands. And so at first, you keep reaching over.
Yeah, I did this a couple times.
It's
What
like,
happened to this
wait a
brain?
minute. Yeah.
But,
Because the brain does that to you. It's hard to make those kinds of changes.
and you know
in your
what? You know
brain.
that one of the
muscle memory is
it may
hard.
seem strange to everybody. Hi,
Hi,
Lulu.
dog. She thinks.
I
that's
know.
strange.
I got excited, and she says, "What? What? Are we going to go somewhere?"
What are we doing? What are we doing?
And apart from all of its other great features, one of the things I really like about this, and I don't know if the camera will pick this up, is this handle. I don't know why everybody doesn't have one of these. It's braided leather, and it goes across the narrow end of the auto harp, and it allows you to pick it up and put it beside your leg while you're walking so it doesn't bump into anything or whatever. You can grab it any time. It's just a brilliant idea.
Ivan says, "Hi, Lulu."
Yeah, Lulu's here.
Yeah.
And good Lord willing, Lulu will be at MLAG.
Libby. Sorry, Libby Khan
Hey,
is here.
Libby.
Sorry, I am late.
Oh, I'm
That
glad
is
you
Dave.
came. Better late
Yes.
than never. I really am glad you came. I hope you're feeling better.
Welcome. Yes, I hope so too.
Hi, Lulu.
There's Lulu again.
There's
and
Lulu.
She came back.
With her dumb end to the camera, but that's okay.
There we go.
There. Yeah. All right. If Lulu will allow me to continue.
No, she's got her head pressed down on the pins. I'm not sure that's comfortable, dog. Ziggy said, I spotted the handle right at the start of your show.
Yeah, it's
I think it's very cool.
a little sneak preview. Let's see here.
If you don't get it. Harpo says hi to Lulu.
Oh, hey,
Hey,
cool.
cool. Hi, Harpo.
Hi.
She's
If Lulu could talk, I think I know what she'd say. Put down that auto harp, let's go out and play.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
She's pressed her neck down on the pins again. Oh, dog.
Where are we here?
I don't know. It is 1:52, by the way. Give you a heads up on the time.
You know, okay.
Come here,
Boy, we're going
sweetie.
to have
What
to
are you doing?
move it along. Hey,
Come here now.
that's enough.
You can't play that way now.
She says, I know. I understand that. That's
It's the coolest thing.
Speaking of the Tahoma, you know, you've heard what it sounds like. You want one? I know you want one.
Yes.
And you still got a few days left to get one at Pete's introductory price. But that offer expires at the close of business on the 31st of March. So a week from Thursday is the last day you're going to get it at this great price. And with a quality and a great sounding instrument like this, I imagine the price is going to go up some. I'm really, really happy with mine. It's, you know, like I say, you can, and as I've said before, if you're new to this, the top and the sides is all one piece of pin block, like they use in a piano to hold the tuning pins. The tuning pins are really tight. They're not going to come loose for a long time, and of course you don't use them as much because you've got fine tuners. And the back is Occam, I think that's how you pronounce it, instrument grade Occam ply from France. So only the best materials. You got Schreiber strings, and I'm living testament to the ability to customize this thing. it's got 37 strings. That really weirded me out when I first unboxed it, and I looked at it, and I played. I hit the C chord.
I remember.
And
this.
I plucked the top string, and it went. And I'm going, what? Wait a minute. Oh, no, he didn't give me the layout I want and everything. And then Lynn started looking at it and said that's a D string. So there's on this you've got a high D, which really completes a lot of chords. Let me show you what I'm talking about. On the Schmidt, a G chord. Okay. On the Tahoma, you get the next chord, the 5 note in the chord. The D chord is fuller too, not on the bottom, but
wow,
man, that string's almost in tune. That's outrageous. Same thing with the D minor. Anything that's got a D chord.
Ivan says that high D is the cat's meow.
Yeah, I really like it. The pin configuration is a little different. It's taken me a while to, because I find the pins again by muscle memory. But anyway, you get 37 strings, and right now, if you act now, you can get one for $1,395 plus shipping. You won't get. I don't know that much about luthier auto harps, so I may be talking through my hat. But I don't think you'll get an auto harp of this quality with this sound for that price. Now, Greg or some of the other luthiers would probably argue with that, but they weren't at California. See, if they'd have come to California, I might be playing one of theirs. But Pete was there.
Yes.
And this thing grabbed my attention, and I had a lot of work done on my Oscar Schmidt, which I needed done, but it also gave me an excuse to come in and play the Tahoma.
Yeah.
Here's what you get for $1,395, and if I've missed anything, Pete and Polly chime in on here. You get the Flatline fine tuning system, and I'm telling you what. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but the only part of this that moves are the screws. So the strings actually go across the bridge before they get to the fine tuners. So the strings aren't attached to the tuners. So if you back a screw out too far, the whole assembly isn't going to go springing all over the room. The way I guess this works is that these screws just press down on the strings and add a little tension, or you back them off and release it. But I don't think in any event you're going to have a catastrophic failure like you do with like the Oscar Schmidt tuners. This is the first harp I've ever even handled that has fine tuners, and I'm still getting used to them. But in the last couple of days, I've got it tuned to where I don't need the wrench hardly at all anymore, and I'm pretty much always using the tuners. And I don't know if this is the right way to do it, but when I see a tuner that's getting too high or too low, if it's getting too low, I will sharpen the string and then back it out. And if it's getting too high from the board, then I'll sharpen the string. I'll flatten the string and tune it down to sharpen it. And I've got them all. I still have them all pretty well even, except for that one C. But I'm so happy to have it in tune that I left it alone. Anyway,
Polly said that is correct, George. The fine-tuning array is fashioned after violin tuners. Wow.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks, Polly. It's a great system, and when you go from exclusively using a wrench or a special tool that I had built that is geared to this. It's quite a change. You get the Mylar spring system, which is absolutely silent and very responsive. You get never warp extrusion cord bars, and you can't see this, but I can tell these are arched. So here and here, but where the buttons are, they're higher in the middle. So they're arched. That gives them strength. They're not going to warp. They're very narrow. They really are. I would say they're the same width, or maybe a little bit different, but not much different than the width of one of the aluminum extrusions on an Oscar Schmidt. But they won't bend, they won't flex because of that arch. You get composite frame bracing, which I'm not going to disassemble the Auto Harp to look at. But it's going to, between that and the fact that the top and sides are a solid piece of wood, unless you take it in the shower with you or something, I don't really think it's going to warp. Could be wrong, only time will tell, but that's just one hillbilly's opinion.
I have a couple of comments.
Brian Bauer's 21 chord layout. Let me finish this.
Oh, I'm sorry, George.
And then we'll get to those.
This was relevant.
Okay, go ahead.
It's Ivan who said, Pete's website says Daigle Tahoma complete package is $1,430, $200 deposit to hold, and then he added, this price may be the regular price, and Polly Daigle said 1/4 inch wide bars.
Okay. Yeah, Pete, if you'll clarify that, I don't want to mislead people. If that's the current price, let me know. I don't want to lead people to expect that they will get it for that price if that's not the right price.
Yeah.
Folks, anyway, you get strap buttons for that price, whichever price it is. And you can, Pete will install them. I had him install them because I probably will never use them, but he put them in the default locations. And or he'll send them to you and you can put them wherever you want them. You get your choice of cases and that great Tahoma sound. So get it while you can for the introductory price.
Polly said the price Ivan quoted is for the beginner's package.
Okay. All right. $1,430 rather than
Yes.
$1,395. Okay.
$1,430.
So that's still, I mean, come on, that's like $35 difference. So don't beat me up for it, okay? I didn't mean it.
And Libby said, love your enthusiasm.
Well, doggone it, I've never had a luthier auto harp before. I've always played Oscar Schmidt auto harps. Shucks, until 2018, I didn't know there were luthier auto harps.
I know.
I had no idea.
Either.
I didn't know.
This was an auto harp, or well, not this particular.
Yeah, I thought the Oscar Schmidt, that's what it was. I didn't know about diatonic auto harps. I didn't know, about any of that stuff. I was just out there alone in the wilderness until I discovered the Cyberpluckers mailing list.
Right, doing all these things that.
Yeah, and look what's happened. And I've just met a bunch of terrific people, and I've learned a whole lot and all. Now, if you want some extras, here's what you can get. You can get a built-in magnetic pickup. I did, and I hooked it up to an 80s era guitar amp that I bought way back when for like $20, and played with the EQ on the equalizer on that thing and got it to sound pretty much the same as it did, and so now I can yell.
I had another one from Polly. $13.95 is the base price for the harp. And then Ivan said, package includes Daigle 21 bar chromatic Tahoma auto harp, Daigle soft shell case in your choice of color. It's an auto harp or other beginner's book with instrumental stand. Snark chromatic digital tuner.
Oh, wow, look at all you get.
Yeah, and plus a starter pick package, tuning wrench, warranty, and paperwork. Very cool.
Very cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
That's the difference. You get the book and you get the tuner, and I didn't get those things. And I got the case.
Yeah, that's right. You got the case. Yeah.
But,
sorry, George.
Those things wouldn't have done me any good anyway. So we may have the book and all that paperwork.
We probably do.
But
I think we do.
Yeah. there's only one tuner that'll do me any good, and I don't own an iPhone, so I can't use it. Let's see here. You can get, where were we? Built-in magnetic pickup. We got that. You can get lock bars. You can get 9, 12, and 18 bar setups, so you can have more room to pick up here if you want. Chromatic and diatonic layouts. You get it comes default with the Brian Bowers layout, 21 chord layout, with a couple of modifications which allow you to play in the key of E if you want to. And you know, you have to dicker with Pete on the price, but I'm here to tell you that he'll set the doggone thing up any way you want it within, you know, the realms of possibility. I ordered mine, and then he said, he emailed me and said, you know, you could have a left-handed harp and you wouldn't have to cross your hands. And I said, okay. And then I set up one of my Oscar Schmidts with the Brian Bowers layout, and it doesn't work for me. The stuff that I play doesn't work well with it because I wind up having to reach this way and that way and make very quick changes. So I got a variation of the regular Oscar Schmidt layout, and I got a left-handed auto harp. You know, within reason, you can adopt the Burger King philosophy and have it your way. I'm here. This is living, breathing proof. And I'm telling you what, if you're a lap player, this is liberating. It's great. Anyway, this price, as I understand it, the $14.30 price ends on the 31st. So if you want one, and I know you want one, get it now. Well, wait till after the show and then go ahead and order it and then come back. That'd be fine. Anyway, I really want to thank Pete for working with me the way he did and putting this auto harp on my lap. I won't say in my hands. Because
yes,
it's really, really cool.
And from a visual point of view, the art of it is exquisite. It is absolutely a beautiful instrument.
Yeah. You can get, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. And all of Pete's auto harps come with a limited lifetime warranty for defect in materials or manufacturing. And you can get a no interest layaway plan. You can put down that $200 deposit, and then within reason, you can pay it off. And when you get it paid off, Pete will ship you your auto harp. This is the last time I'll be able to talk about this great offer, because by the time we're on again on the 2nd of April, it won't be around anymore. So get it while you can, folks.
Ivan said the Bowers layout doesn't work for me either. I use a modified Oscar Schmidt layout.
Yeah.
And Ziggy replied to Ivan saying, me too. And Polly said, thank you for the great plug, George. It's special coming from you. And
well, I've enjoyed doing it every show. I've from the time we got back from California in October, I've done it every show, and I'm going to miss it. I'm going to talk about the harp, of course, but I hope we brought you some sales. I didn't put any analytics in this because I was doing it a favor for a friend, because you guys are my friends. So it's been great, and if anybody ever asks me, I will tell them to get one of these.
It has the most beautiful sound I've ever heard.
It just does. And you can, if you play it on your lap, I'm not a crusader for this, but I don't know if Facebook will pick this up. But I have now put my knees together, and I'm going to strum an F chord, because that's the most bellicose chord there is on here. And then I'm going to move my legs and listen to the difference. You can change the whole sound of the instrument, and that's not true with a Schmidt. It pretty much does what it does, but on this you can actually change and almost phase shift the sound. Anyway, we probably ought to play some music because some of these people don't play the auto harp, and they wish we would get on with it here. Go to dagelharp.com to have a look or to place an order, and do that today. Here's a Johnny Bond song. Norman Gimbel and Charles Fox wrote it. Johnny Bond did it, and it's called 10 Little Bottles. A friend of mine gave me 10 little bottles of some special stuff that he brewed up himself. But my wife found out about it, so I took it and hid it down in my basement. But my wife found out about it, and she told me to get rid of it or else. Since I didn't like the way she said or else, I went down there and proceeded to carry out her instructions. I set the 10 little bottles on the drain board, picked up the first bottle, pulled the cork out of it, and poured it down the sink. That is, all except for one little swaller, which I drank. I picked up the next bottle, and I pulled the cork out of it, and I poured it down the sink. That is, all except for one little swaller, which I drank. I picked up the next bottle and I pulled the sink out of it and I poured it down the sink. That is, all except for one little swaller, which I drank. I picked up the next cork and I pulled the sink out of it and I poured it down the sink. That is, all except for one little swaller, which I drank. I picked up the next cork and I pulled the sink out of it and I poured it down the bottle. That is, all except for one teensy-weensy little swaller, which I sank. I used to have a little difficulty with this number. You see, I come from a great long line of drinkers. I had an uncle that drank a quart a day every day of his life. Heck, me, I spill more than that. We told him, we says, you better quit drinking that stuff, it's gonna kill you. Sure enough, it killed him. He died last year at the age of 102. Don't laugh, we dug him up last week. He looks better than y'all do now. Guy back here asked me, says, George, what's the difference between a drunk and an alcoholic? Well, I'll tell you. Us drunks don't have to attend all them daggone meetings, you know. I don't like your bartenders around here, I'll tell you that. I says, this guy give me something cold and full of gin. He said, take my wife. Now you see, you got me all confused. How many bottles have I got left? 5. You're seeing double. He's only 2.5. But I want you to know one other thing. You better not say anything against my wife, Buster, 'cause I'll have you know. that I got the wifest of the nice in the whole United States.
I like that song. Oh,
Johnny
Ivan,
Bell.
I got Ivan here. With your knees together, the harp gets louder,
Yes.
much like placing a pillow on your lap.
Yep.
And I think he sent up a laughing face. While playing a mountain dulcimer, it's the same as placing a pillow on your lap while playing a mountain dulcimer.
I see.
Sorry, I goofed that
You know,
up.
I have got to get me one of those. Go ahead.
It increases the volume. One would think it would dampen the sound, but it doesn't.
All right,
There's
we'll try
another
playing it
laughing
that way
face.
for a while.
He sent
We'll put the knees closer together here and
Yeah.
move the pedal over. There we go. All right. Yeah, that was from Johnny's album Songs for Boozers. So
I'm going to hear some more of those.
yeah, I could do that. One of these days, I'm gonna do a program like that, Songs for Boozers. We did one about songs for dopers.
Right, now we need one.
We need one for
boozers.
yeah, for.
But we'll stop with that. No others, just that. Oh, Nan said LOL.
Thank you, Nan. Okay, let's see here. Here's a song that was written and recorded by George Burns, and Ray Price recorded it too.
Oh,
And it's called I Wish I Was 18 Again.
that's
At a bar down in Dallas, an old man chimed in, and they thought he was out of his head. And all being young men, they just laughed it off when they heard what this old man said. He said, I'll never again turn the young lady's head or go running off into the wind. 3/4 home from the start to the end, and I wish I was 18 again. I wish I was 18 again, and going where I've never been. Now old folks and old oaks standing tall just pretend I wish I was 18 again. Time turns the pages and life goes so fast. The years turn the black hair all gray. I talk to some young folks, but they don't understand the words this old man got to say. I wish I was 18 again, going where I've never been. Now old folks and old oaks standing tall just pretend I wish I was 18 again. Oh, I wish I was 18 again.
wow.
Yeah.
I'd Ivan said, I Wish I Was 18 Again is a song written by Sonny Throckmorton in 1979.
Oh, okay. Well, my source misled me. Sonny Throckmorton. Write that down so I can update. Thank you. Oh, keeper of the records.
Yes.
Well, we got to move it along here. We are running out of time.
It's 2:19.
Oh, okay. We're
not too bad.
Here's a song which I hope. The way I'm going today, I've got so many wrong. It was written by Shel Silverstein and was recorded by Johnny Cash, and it's called 25 Minutes to Go. Well, they're building a gallows outside my cell. I've got 25 minutes to go, and the whole town is waiting for to hear me yell. I got 25 minutes to go. Well, they gave me some beans for my last meal with 23 minutes to go. But nobody asked me how I feel. I got 22 minutes to go. Well, I sent for the governor and the whole damn bunch with 21 minutes to go. And I sent for the mayor, but he was out to lunch. I got 20 more minutes to go. Then the sheriff said, boy, I'm gonna watch you die with 19 minutes to go. So I laughed in his face and I spit in his eye. I got 18 minutes to go. Well, I called up to the warden to hear my plea with 17 minutes to go. He said, call me back in a week or 3. You got 16 minutes to go. Well, my lawyer said he's sorry that he lost my case with 15 minutes to go. Yeah, well, if you're so sorry, come and take my place. I got 14 minutes to go. Now here come the preachers for to save my soul with 13 minutes to go. And he's talking about burning, but I'm so cold. I got 12 more minutes to go. Now they're testing the trap and it chills my spine. 11 more minutes to go. And the trap and the rope, oh, they work just fine. I got 10 more minutes to go. Well, I'm waiting for the pardon, gonna set me free with 9 more minutes to go. But this ain't the movie, so forget about me. I got 8 more minutes to go. Well, I'm climbing up the ladder to the scaffold peg with 7 more minutes to go. I'd better watch my step or else I'll break my leg. I got 6 more minutes to go. With my feet on the trap and my head in the noose, I got 5 more minutes to go. Won't somebody come and cut me loose? I got 4 more minutes to go. I can see the mountains, I can see the sky with 3 more minutes to go. And it's too dang pretty for a man who's gonna die. I got 2 more minutes to go. I can see the I can see, let me find the right key here. See, it gives him a little extra time. He's happy.
There you go.
I can see the buzzards, I can hear the crows with 1 more minute to go. And now I'm swinging and here I go. Thought he was going to
I
make
thought
it,
he was
didn't
gonna
you?
make it.
Thought he was going to be rescued at the last minute, didn't you?
No.
Well, you just can't depend on nothing no more.
Oh, Ivan said, for some reason, many folks who record a song are credited for
With
the
writing
song.
it. Yeah, exactly.
I've been misled many times. And Ivan said, I thought he'd never die.
Hurry up!
Right?
It's the longest 25 minutes I've ever had. Yeah, you know, I thought for a long time that Ray Stevens wrote a lot of his own stuff.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He's had a lifelong collaboration with a guy named Buddy Kalb. Anyway, that esoterica can wait.
I have a dog. This Lulu is over here. Do you see her peeking up over my table? Ivan said, I didn't want him to get a reprieve.
You're a hard man, Ivan Stiles.
Hard man, yes.
You don't even know what he did.
Ziggy said, interestingly enough, you managed to spend 25 minutes in just 4 minutes. Wow.
Oh, my. All right. I will.
There's your dog back.
I will give a shout out to all my research assistants today. I don't know who wrote this.
Ivan said, it doesn't matter. Exclamation point.
Everybody's having a good time. Lulu says, yeah.
There's that dog.
I will not telling stories out of school. I guess I am, but I will tell you that this faithful and trusty guide dog of mine loves beer.
Oh my.
Somebody before I had her, someone
This
who
is
under
true.
before me gave her beer because she
Wow.
can party. All right.
I think she'd drink more than you let her. You don't let her have much, just
No,
a taste.
I don't.
But she seems very interested in it.
All right. I don't know who wrote this. The first group that I heard do it was the Willis Brothers is the first group that I heard do this, and it's called "Give Me 40 Acres." He was heading into Boston in a big long diesel truck. It was his first trip to Boston. He was having lots of luck. He was going the wrong direction down a one-way street in town. And this is what he said when the police chased him down. Give me 40 acres and I'll turn this rig around. It's the easiest way that I've found. Some guys can turn them on a dime or turn them right downtown, but I need 40 acres to turn this rig around. When he finally found where to unload, he had a dreadful shock. His trailer pointed toward the road and his cab right to the dock. And as he looked around him, through his tears he made this sound. Oh, give me 40 acres and I'll turn this rig around. Give me 40 acres and I'll turn this rig around. It's the easiest way that I've found. Some guys can turn them on a dime or turn them right downtown, but I need 40 acres to turn this rig around. When he finally got unloaded, he was glad to leave the town. He was very, very happy going back to Alabama. When up ahead he saw a sign said, "You are northward bound." He said, "Give me 40 acres and I'll turn this rig around. Give me 40 acres and I'll turn this rig around. It's the easiest way that I've found." Some guys can turn them on a dime or turn them right downtown, but I need 40 acres to turn this rig around. He was driving in the right lane when ahead he saw a sign, and he had to make a left turn, but he could not get in line. And the tears were streaming down his cheeks, and they all heard him yell, "Give me 40 sticks of dynamite, and I'll blow this thing to give me 40 acres, and I'll turn this rig around. It's the easiest way that I've found." Some guys can turn 'em on a dime or turn 'em right downtown, but I need 40 acres to turn this rig around.
Yeah. Ivan said, "Give Me 40 Acres to Turn This Rig Around" was written by Earl Green and John William Green. And I wrote it down.
Right, thank you.
But I can relate. Go back to Thursday. I needed 40 acres.
You still hung up on that shopping cart, aren't you?
Well, this reminded me. But I've also had vehicles I felt that way about. Some of the vans we had.
Oh, I'm ashamed. I have put my wife behind the wheels of some absolute
the white panel truck.
junk.
No, I don't know that I'd call it all junk.
Really? That white panel van was pretty close.
Just because the gas tank fell out in the driveway now.
Yeah.
Come on.
On the 2nd of January in Cincinnati, Ohio, with the
When we were
temperature
visiting
around
my
12
folks.
degrees. And her folks are not, well, they were very sophisticated people.
Yes,
and they were artists and musicians and everything. And they were appalled.
It was, oh no.
And it wasn't the first time we'd had a car die in their driveway, because she drove a 67 Fairlane down there to visit them, and the timing chain came off of it.
In their driveway.
In their driveway.
It was not.
In front of their garage,
That's
where
right.
her mom's car was parked, and it would not start because...
Oh. Well, you worked on that one and fixed it. And
No, I didn't.
You didn't fix it?
No, Philippa and I towed it down here behind the Scout. Remember, you drove it. We did it in the middle of the night so nobody catch us.
Yes, that's right. But
Remember
we did manage to fix the panel truck.
We did fix the panel truck.
Yeah. But that was... Oh, the cars.
Yeah. Oh, that was. It was like, Lady Diana meets the hillbilly when we got together, because we got there.
Well, maybe not that bad, but...
Oh, it was now. I was wearing blue jeans. I had cowboy boots and flannel shirts and a Doberman Pinscher guide dog.
Yes. This is who I brought home.
Hi, this is the man I'm going to marry. So no. God, how's he going to support you?
But he has.
I did.
So,
And
he is.
she never had to take a job, and she was always home for the
I've
kids.
never
and
wanted
stuff,
for
but
anything either.
We went in there. We came in there one night, and Lynn's dad loved to go out to eat. And he said, "Well, we're going out to eat tonight because we have a plumbing problem.
Right.
And we can't wash any dishes, and all of our pots and pans are dirty, and we're going out to eat."
Yeah.
Well, my family almost never went out to eat because we didn't have any money. And I said, "Well, what's wrong with the sink?" And he said, "Oh, I don't know. There's a pipe under there, and it's leaking, and it smells terrible and everything." And
Yeah, I think
I said, "Well, let me look at it." Well, he was too polite not to. He figured, well, okay, I'll look at it and say, "Gee, golly, I don't know."
That's not what happened.
And that's not what happened. I looked under there, and the drain pipe between the sinks was leaking, and they had jammed something into their garbage disposal.
Something was jammed in the disposal.
And I said, "Oh, hey, you
that's
don't
so they
have to
could
spend your
not,
hard-earned money to go out to eat. Just buy me a pipe wrench. I'll have this fixed in 30 minutes.
And he did.
And I did. And her dad was very disappointed because he had to eat at home. He couldn't go out.
Oh, no.
No, he was a good guy.
Well, he was also a real good cook, and my mom, too, so
Yeah.
nobody was disappointed. But he liked to go out, so that was...
All right. Anyway, I don't know how we got off on that tack. This is going to be one for the history books. I've always loved to tell stories. My dad was like that too. He could convince you of anything. He bet
had
a
a
guy.
lot of stories.
He bet a guy one time that he could put foam on the bottom of a beer mug.
Beer foam? You mean like the foam off?
Yeah, the foam off it. That's the first thing the guy said. It's not shaving cream or anything. No,
Right.
no, I can.
You mean the foam on the
I
bottom
can put.
of the
I
beer?
can put foam on the bottom of a beer mug. Is what he said.
Okay.
And the guy said, "Well, but you're gonna, you'd have to. You can't do that because you just pour a little bit in the bottom." He said, "No, I'm going to put foam on the bottom of a beer mug. Bet the guy $20. Had the whole bar interested in it because Dad was working behind the bar. All right. So he takes this mug, and you know how mugs have a little concave thing in the bottom where they sit on the table? So he turns it upside down, puts it under the spigot, squirts a little foam on the bottom of the beer mug, and won the bet. Damn near started a brawl, but
probably
he had
people
more friends in there than that other guy did.
Yeah.
Anyway, let us get back to business, or we're never going to get out of here. And Lynn's been on me for going over, so we probably won't get to everything today. We did 500 Miles earlier, written by Hetty West. Here's Don Bowman's parody. Oh, he's come. Oh, he's come 500 miles the wrong way. I slept last night for the first time in a week. I got on this train and just passed out in the seat. Boy, I tell you, that's the last alfalfa balers convention I'll ever attend. I was headed home all tired and broke. But hark, this morning when I awoke, I looked out the window and I knew I was somewhere I never had been. All bad words and dirty names. Myself is on the wrong train and my house is 500 miles the other way. Actually, I really shouldn't complain. Just, you know, 'cause I'm on the wrong train. At least I'm only 500 miles away from home. Boy, wouldn't it have been a kick in the head if last night I'd have staggered onto one of them jets? Do you realize I could have woke up this morning in Rome? How about that? Oh, bad words and dirty names. Myself is on the wrong train and my house is 500 miles the other way. I got off at a watering stop. I seen this guy kind of resting there on this rock. I told him my sad story and asked him, you know, what he thought I ought to do. But, well, he wasn't a bit of help. He introduced himself. He said, "My name's Bear. Buddy, I know what you're going through. I wanna go home." Oh, bad words and filthy names. Myself is on the wrong train and my house is 500 miles the other way. I done come 500 miles the wrong way.
Oh my. I love that. Oh.
Here's a love song. It really is now. I'm serious. Harry Styles and Louis Tomlinson wrote this. Is Harry a relative of yours, Ivan? I don't know. Anyway, this was done. I don't know who else did it, but the Chad Mitchell Trio did it back in the 60s. It's called One Time Only. I spent my hungry young years running wild. There was so much for me to do, and I spent cities like a handful of change, but I never quit looking for you. One time only, been such a long time lonely. One time for all time it will be. Been waiting such a long time, each time has been the wrong time, until you came to me. I looked for you in every face I saw, but could not find you anywhere. Then finally one day I quit trying it all, and I looked up to see you standing there. One time only, been such a long time lonely. One time for all time will be. Been waiting such a long time, each time has been the wrong time, until you came to me. Is that a good key?
Yeah.
All right, sing it up next time. Last chance. I don't mind. I loved it. I don't mind telling you what's on my mind. It's no big secret anymore. I've got no plans at all for moving on. That's one thing that I was never looking for. One time only, been such a long time lonely. One time for all time will be. Been waiting such a long time, each time has been the wrong time, until you came to me. Oh, yeah. Nice.
Thank you. I didn't know the words real well. I had to fake it.
You
a little
did
bit.
good. You done good.
Oh, let's see. Ziggy, let's go back up here. Ziggy said, I think it was Bobby Bare, B-A-R-E, who first had a hit with 500 miles.
Was it? You might be right, Ziggy. The people that I first heard it do it was the New Christy Minstrels in '61. But that makes the joke a lot better if, in fact, he's the one who did it.
Well, and Ivan also says Harry is Styles with a Y. And
okay.
his is with an I.
Okay.
And Ziggy replied to Ziggy, I think it was Bobby Bare who first had a hit with 500 miles, and then he said the name Bear was mentioned in the parody.
Right.
And
I thought it was referring to Detroit City, where he wanted to go home, see?
I see.
But yeah, that makes more sense.
And then Libby said, Lynn, I love when you carry the melody and George harmonizes. We're having a lot of fun with that.
We are. And we will
see you
we will see you later
tonight.
And we've been working on the go around that we're going to do, so you'll get to hear a little more of that.
And Ivan said sweet song with an exclamation point.
Thank you. I like that song.
I do too. We're at 2:43. So we still got some time.
We got some time, but we're not going to get through all of these.
How much are we going to miss by?
Oh, a good bit.
Oh. Well,
That's all right. You get to vote. Well, actually, you don't, because Lynn controls this.
Oh, now I don't.
Yes, you do now, because you're the one that kept telling me not to quit going over.
Well, going over for a long time, like 20 minutes or so. I don't.
That's what we're on. That's what we're on path for. Let's just do what we can till we till we run out of time, and then we'll see if we want to do any more. Okay.
We'll see. Okay.
Okay. Here's a 60s kind of bubblegum song. It's called Seven Little Girls Sitting in the Back Seat. Lee Julian Pocris and Bob Hilliard wrote it. Paul Evans recorded it. And let me see. Okay. Seven Little Girls. De-doodly-doo-doo, de-doodly-doo-doo, de-doodly-doo-doo-doo. Seven little girls sitting in the back seat, hugging and a-kissing with Fred. I said, why don't one of you come up and sit beside me? And this is what the seven girls said. All together now, 1, 2, 3. Keep your mind on your drive and keep your hands on the wheel. Keep your snoopy eyes on the road ahead. We're having fun, sitting in the back seat, kissing and a-hugging with Fred. Go through the town, go through the country, showed them how my motor could go. I said, how do you like my triple carburetor? And one of them whispered low. All together now, 1, 2, 3. Keep your mind on your drive and keep your hands on the wheel. Keep your snoopy eyes on the road ahead. We're having fun, sitting in the back seat, kissing and a-hugging with Fred. Seven little girls smooching in the back seat, everyone in love with Fred. I said, you don't need me, all get off at my house. And this is what the seven girls said. All together now, 1, 2, 3. Keep your mind on your drive and keep your hands on the wheel. Keep your snoopy eyes on the road ahead. We're having fun, sitting in the back seat, kissing and a-hugging with Fred. All of them in love with Fred. Doodly-doo-doo. We're kissing and a-hugging with Fred. Doodly-doo-doo. Wish that I could be like Fred. Doop.
Oh, goodness. Oh. Ziggy said you will have to do another leftover show, smiley face.
That's true. We'll just keep doing this.
Well, we'll see what happens. And
I just
Ivan did a thumbs up on that one.
Glad you liked it. I just want to quickly mention that you can still register for the Mountain Laurel Auto Harp Gathering. The early bird discounts are over, but there's still plenty of room if you want to come and watch me make a fool of myself at the contest, among other attractions. It's going to be a great time. It looks like it's actually going to be able to happen. Things are kind of opening up a little bit, and I hope to see you there. Go to mlag.org to register. I will also give you an update on the CD, the Cohen Grapple Endowment CD. I actually have the CDs. They arrived yesterday. And the website that is being built is just about done. I'm going to talk to the committee about the possibility of pre-orders. And if I get their permission to do that, I'll give you the information next time around. But the project is done a little less than 3 months early. Yeah, one of our friends gave us some money, cash, and said, save me one.
Right.
Anyway, if you're new, the CD is songs about dogs. It's called Forever Friends, and if you're a dog lover, you're really going to like it. And all of the money that we get from the CD is going to be donated to Southeastern Guide Dogs in Palmetto, Florida. So
yes,
there's that.
That has been arranged. And
indeed.
I have from Hillary.
Hello, Hillary. I didn't know you were here. Welcome.
Yes, she said, hi, George and Lynn. Sorry to be late. Nice to hear the new Tahoma.
Oh, I'm glad you got to hear it, Hillary.
Yes.
You're going to hear a lot more of it because I'm putting away my Oscar Schmitz except for certain occasions. I am going to do an interview with Hal Weeks for his Auto Harp, Stalking the Wild Auto Harp channel about lap style playing, and I will play it then so that I can show that it's possible to play cross-handed without hitting the microphones.
I have one from Libby. Says, I had a boyfriend when I was 14 named Fred at one time, and I just love this song. It
Glad
brought
you
back
like it.
good memories of sneaking off from football games. All together now, 1, 2, 3, we're having fun sitting in the back seat, kissing and hugging with Fred.
Yeah.
And Ivan said, I get a copy for designing it.
Yes, absolutely.
I won't wait until June.
Okay. You don't think they'll get mad? Seriously, I don't.
That's a
this is my
question we
very
don't
first
know.
rodeo. I don't know. But if you don't think it'll violate any of the rules of the endowment, I'll certainly send you one. Just let me know. I just don't want to step on anybody's toes. I've never done this before.
Right, we have no.
I usually grab onto things with both hands, and
And that's what you did,
well,
actually.
I did try.
But so did everyone. Ivan said, I have influence.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. It'll be in the mail here
Yes.
very shortly.
I'll have a dog.
And you can, that way we can practice shipping one and you can tell us if we got
If it
right.
worked, yes, we need to
If
do
it
that.
arrives in pieces, then we'll know we didn't. Here's a song that was written by Darius Rocker and recorded by C.W. McCall. This is one I used to play a lot. And I don't know if I can play it on this harp or not, but we'll sure give it a shot. Well, we went screaming through the valley where the Nishnabotney flows, through the mud and crud and cornfields where the marijuana grows, across the railroad tracks of Persia, up the hills and down the dales. Had a CJ5 with a four-wheel drive and Snooky on my tail. He picked me up at exit 12 on the I-680 ramp. I was doing 67 per when I rumbled through his trap. He commenced to whirl his flashing lights and he made his siren wail. I slipped on down to four-wheel drive and Smokey on my tail. Well, I got racing stripes and dual pipe and Smokey's got a Ford. Had a mule with a four-pot carb, you know, with Smokey stroked and bored. Well, the chase is on, but I got the edge and the rig will never fail. Got a CJ5 with a four-wheel drive and Smokey on my tail. I shifted down to Granny Low and I made a hard right turn. My big old fat commando tires went slashing through the corn. Tassels blew and the kernels flew and I looked like yellow hail. Just cooking alive with a four-wheel drive and Smokey on my tail. Well, we went screaming through the valley where the Nishnabotna flows, through the mud, crud, cornfields where the marijuana grows, across the railroad tracks of Persia, up the hills and down the dales. Had a CJ5 with a four-wheel drive and Smokey on my tail. Don't hit that fellow with the auto harp. We're gonna swim this creek now, Smokey. The Nishnabotna River, they call it. I might have to winch out. Gonna do a wheelie on this gopher mound now, Smokey. Can you dig it, Smokey? Mercy sakes. Like to bust my shocks. Well, now that Jeep of mine made Smokey whine. His rig was made of lead. He was mired in 14 feet of mud, but he radioed ahead. I came up on the pavement and went crashing through the rail. Sakes alive, I had 25 more Smokies on my tail. But I got racing stripes and dual pipes, and Smokey's got a Ford. Had a mill with a four-pot carb, you know, but Smokey's hooked and bored. Well, the chase is on, but I got the edge, and the rig will never fail. Got a CJ5 with a four-wheel drive. It's sitting out back of the jail.
Ivan said, I loved my CJ5, and now I'm jealous. I always wanted one.
Oh, yeah.
I had a Jeep Cherokee, but it's not the same.
CJ stands for Civilian Jeep. I don't know what happened to CJs 1 through 4, but...
Oh, well, that's a good question.
You want to go for a ride in a CJ5, Lulu?
Sure.
Do you?
I
So
think
yeah,
the dog would like to
we'll do
go
that.
for a ride
Sure enough.
somewhere.
Yeah, dog would like to go somewhere.
It's a beautiful day and all that.
Yeah, we've been there. Here's a song that was written by Merle Travis and done by Tennessee Ernie Ford. It's called 16 Tons. Some people say a man is made out of mud. Poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood and skin and bones. A mind that's weak and a back that's strong. You load 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning when the sun didn't shine. I picked up my shovel and I walked to the mine. I loaded 16 tons, a number 9 coal. Well, the straw boss said, well, bless my soul, you load 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning, it was drizzling rain. Fighting and trouble are my middle name. I was raised in a cane break by an old mama line. Can no high-toned woman make me walk the line? You load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. If you see me coming, better step aside. A lot of men didn't, a lot of men died. One fist of iron and the other of steel. If the right one don't gift you, then the left one will. You load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and a deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store.
Wow.
Tennessee Ernie. Here's another Ian and Sylvia tune called Four Rode By. Four rode by, rode through here, 3 McLean boys and that wild Alex Hare. They were armed, all were armed. It was them tonight and no them anywhere. Old Willie Palmer stallion was no $20 cayuse. When the wild one stole him, yeah, I tailed it into town. Hustler in those days was keeping order in the district, but before he'd ridden 30 miles, the McLean boys shot him down. Four rode by, rode through here, 3 McLean boys and that wild Alex Hare. A shepherd known as Kelly saw the wild ones as they passed. They shot him with a rifle and they took his watch and chain. When the posse found them, they were in the lonely cabin. The hunger took their fight away and no one else was slain. Four rode by, rode through here, 3 McLean boys and that wild Alex there. They hung the boys in January 1881. The first time in that province they'd strung up brothers free. And the sun killed 19 Germans across the seas back in 17. One thing that's for damn sure, they're a wild old family. Four rode by, rode through here, 3 McLean boys and that wild Alex Hare. They were armed, all were armed. It was them and I didn't know them anywhere.
Wow. Well, straight up 3 o'clock. Your dog was bopping the cord into your computer twice. I don't know. How could she know? She doesn't. That's ridiculous.
That dog knows everything.
Yeah, well, she was.
Well, we have, I would like to do.
Well, we have some late comers, so I
Yeah.
feel like that. Hillary just got here not long ago.
Yeah.
And so I don't.
Well, I'll play all day.
I know, but
That's the problem when you get hung up with a musician that
Yeah.
loves this instrument the way I do.
Oh yeah. What you got next?
This was written by Dan Tyler, Michael Noble, Michael Spriggs, and Woot Newton. And it was recorded by Kenny Rogers, and it's called 20 Years Ago. It's been a long time since I walked through this old town. But oh, how the memories start to flow. And there's the old movie house, they finally closed it down. You could find me there every Friday night, 20 years ago. I worked the counter at the drugstore down the street, but nobody's left there I would know. On Saturday mornings, that's where all my friends would meet. You'd be surprised what a dime would buy 20 years ago. All my memories from those days come gather round me. What I'd give if they could take me back in time. Oh, it almost seems like yesterday. Where do the good times go? Life was so much easier 20 years ago. I guess I should stop by Mr. Johnson's hardware store. His only son was my friend Joe, but he joined the army back in 1964. How could we know he would never come back 20 years ago? All my memories from those days come gather round me. What I'd give if they could take me back in time. Oh, it almost seems like yesterday. Where do the good times go? Life was so much easier 20 years ago. Oh, it almost seems like yesterday 20 years ago.
That's pretty.
And let's see. Well, let's play at least one more here.
Okay, one more is good with me.
How about 1 million lawyers?
Okay,
By golly,
you got to have that one.
we got to
Yeah,
warn.
gotta do
We got to
that. Yes,
warn the
warn
country.
the country.
Here's a song that was written and recorded by Tom Paxton.
Oh, Tom, yes.
Ah.
Good. He's good.
Yeah, he really was. All right, let's see if I can play this here on this harp. We'll sure give it a shot. Try it one more time. Humankind has survived some disasters for sure, like locusts and flash floods and flu. There's never a moment when we've been secure from the ills that the flesh is heir to. If it isn't a war, it's some gruesome disease. If it isn't disease, then it's war. But there's worse still to come, and I'm asking you please, how's the world gonna take any more? In 10 years we're gonna have 1 million lawyers, 1 million lawyers, 1 million lawyers. In 10 years we're gonna have 1 million lawyers. How much can a poor nation stand? The world shook with dread of Attila the Hun, who conquered with fire and steel. And Genghis and Genghis and Kublai and all of the Khans drowned a groaning world under their heel. Disaster, disaster, so what else is new? We've suffered the worst and then some. So I'm sorry to tell you, my suffering friends, of the terrible scourge still to come. In 10 years we're gonna have 1 million lawyers, 1 million lawyers, 1 million lawyers. In 10 years we're gonna have 1 million lawyers. How much can a poor nation stand? Oh, a suffering world cries for mercy as far as the eye can see. Lawyers around every bend in the road, lawyers in every tree. Lawyers in restaurants, lawyers in clubs, lawyers behind every door, behind windows and potted plants, shade trees and shrubs, lawyers on pogo sticks, lawyers in politics. In 10 years we're gonna have 1 million lawyers, 1 million lawyers, 1 million lawyers. In 10 years we're gonna have 1 million lawyers. How much can a poor nation stand? How much can a poor nation stand? In summer it's, in springtime it's, in springtime, let me figure this out. In spring there's tornadoes and rampaging floods. In summer it's heat stroke and drought. There's Ivy League football to ruin the fall. It's a terrible scourge, there's no doubt. There are blizzards that to batter the shivering plain. There's dust storms that strike, but far worse is the threat of disaster to shrivel the brain. It's the threat of implacable curse. In 10 years we're gonna have 1 million lawyers, 1 million lawyers, 1 million lawyers. In 10 years we're gonna have 1 million lawyers. How much can a poor nation stand? How much can a poor nation stand?
Yeah.
Well, folks, it's been a lot of fun. We really appreciate. I want to thank everybody who contributed to our trip to the Mountain Laurel Auto Harp Gathering.
Yes.
You've been very, very generous. And if you would like to put something in our tip jar, it is a PayPal account at autoharp.down.home@gmail.com. But it was through your generosity that I'm going to get to go and spend the whole time there. We're probably going to get there on Monday evening, and then we're going to just Dan Woking and I are going to go. And you made it possible for that to happen, and I deeply, deeply appreciate that, because I could never have done this. I could never have gone without you all. So I'd appreciate it if you could put something in the tip jar. That's great, but I just want to thank all of you who have contributed, especially those who contributed regularly to get us to MLAG. Have a great couple of weeks, folks. Spring is in the air.
Yes.
Hopefully all the cold weather is behind most of us. And we will see you back here on the 2nd of April. And we'll see some of you later on this evening.
Ivan said, fine show today. Thanks for the pleasant interlude. Nan said, LOL, and then loved the show. So thank you. And we just love doing it. So we have such a great time.
It really was a lot of fun. And I will leave you with this, if I can play it on this harp. Time to say goodbye to George and all his kin. We'd sure like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back real soon to this locality to have a heaping helping of our hospitality. Down home style, that is. Set a spell. Take the shoes off. Y'all come back now, yep.
Sorry, George, I didn't know.